the Electoral Commission is prepared to conduct a by-election in the constituency of the late Deputy Finance Minister Dr. John Kumah at Ejisu in the Ashanti region. Dr. Kumah passed away last week after a brief illness. According to parliamentary regulations, communications to the EC must occur within 7 days of an MP's passing. Although the time frame has not yet elapsed, Deputy EC boss Dr. Sribo Kweku stated that they are ready to proceed with the elections upon official notification from Parliament. He said this among other issues discussed at the Inter-Party Advisory Committee meeting, where modalities with political parties were addressed.
I would say that last year's one should be one of the best that I have ever participated. Because there was respect for each other, there was a cordial environment, and I think when we finished, they themselves all confessed that they will go to the public. I remember Dr. Banaba saying that the group will hear of it. So
I remember engaging one of them. Dr. Manibuama said so that I mean they were happy about the way you went about the issues. The PNC candidate and other political parties said so. But what actually worked out the magic for you this time around?
Well, I think they will be in the position to explain, but probably because we said we were not changing anything, that we are going by the old systems. Because initially we had wanted to do some reforms, and we have different views, so we decided to share all those proposals and go by the existing CIs. So probably, and we also gave them detailed timetable. So whoever had the view that we didn't have timetable, all realized that we have very detailed timetable. So putting the two together, I think they're satisfied.
Delayed with the release of the voters register, the elections calendar. Just barely about how many months, 8 months to go and all that. You agree with them that you delayed? What is the normal time you normally release?
I don't know whether you know when the 2020 timetable came by. So it's one of the earliest release of the calendar that you can talk about.
So the major concern was that you did not engage them. They only saw it in the media. Is that the status quo? Is that the convention in you publishing your election calendar?
Let me explain. The commission did not officially release any timetable, right? Yeah. If you read all the sources, it was maybe you say you intercepted something and the rest. So, and even the one that you read from the papers, I didn't talk about 5 or 6 activities, but the one we gave them was about 6 activities. So if the commission wanted to officially release it, would have released the full calendar. So when it came, they read that what we were holding was more detailed than what they read, so it wasn't an issue at the meeting at all.
The last time I came here, there was a press conference. You were there and your boss herself was there. We're talking about the use of the indelible ink because your system is robust. You don't need to have, there's no need for you to apply the indelible ink because your system can detect anyone who wants to engage in electoral fraud and all that. But what has changed? Because in the statement that you have issued after the meeting with at IPAC, you have indicated that the use of the indelible ink will be maintained.
You see, commission is a listening institution. If we appreciate what the biometric registration process is, it takes away possibility of anybody having more than one name on the register. So we were of the view that once we are using the biometric and you cannot vote more than once, the essence of the indelible ink was to prevent people from voting more than once. And we are of the view that the biometric has come to do that job very well. But the people that you are serving are saying that they believe what you are saying, but in addition, they want the assurance to be double. So bring the indelible ink. We say, well, fine. If that's what we want, we'll bring it. So there's no issue. One, that's what people are looking for. Some people are saying that even when they go home, they will show the people that they have voted with the indelible ink. So it becomes more of cosmetics. And if you do what the people want, why will you say no?
Now, the guarantor system has also been maintained.
Yes.
However, the MPP raised concerns about the possibility of the stakeholders, that is the political parties, at the point maybe guaranteeing for some of the voters, and that's their major concern. How do you intend to address this?
See, I anybody in the Electoral Commission has never been comfortable with the way the Ghana system is being abused. You have people who have been vouching for people they have never met before. So we say that some people have become more of guarantee contractors. So we were thinking that anything that may lead to people who are not qualified to be registered to register should be taken away. But we were of the view that NIA would have covered a lot of people convincingly, so that people will not have any excuse. But from the look of things, it seems they have not been able to cover people to the satisfaction of most Ghanaians. So we wanted to introduce the Ghana card as a way of tracing all the other evidences that we're supposed to prove in addition to the passport. But once the NIA has not been able to cover the numbers that are appreciative and everybody will have confidence in the system, then why wouldn't you allow the status quo to remain? People were objecting to our reform of introducing the Ghana card as a way of doing registration. Okay. So if people have doubts about the availability of the NIA, we are working for Mother Ghana. So well and good. But the caveat that the chairperson gave at the meeting was that we are asking the political parties themselves to help us maintain the credibility of the register by not facilitating the registration of minors and foreigners.
Now let's address this issue about the limited voter registration exercise. You said you are using 21 days.
Yes.
Is that enough?
More than enough. We are already registering people who have not registered. If you look at the 2023 one, we registered around 900,000, less than 1 million. And we register more than 1 million within 1 week. So the 21 days are good enough for anybody who intends registering to register.
Now you intend to split existing polling stations where you have over 700 registered.
749. 749.
749.
We have always been doing that.
Yeah, the initial concern was that you should create new polling stations, right?
No, you see, if you want to create a new polling station, then how do you get the voters for that polling station? Because without the voters, the polling station doesn't exist. So normally, it's when you are going to compile new voters register that you create new polling stations. Because if you say that you want to create a polling station here, who are the people who are going to form that polling station? Because the people have already registered for different polling stations. So what you can do is that where the numbers are more than the threshold of 749, as we used in 2020, then you split that center. So there are some polling stations which were split into 4, depending on the numbers. So the same thing that we are going to do in 2024, that wherever the number of voters in a particular polling station is more than the 749 threshold, then it will be split.
Let's talk about the filing fees for the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections. It remained the same, no change. What triggered that?
Yes, so for the parliamentary one, it has been so since 2016. So that was 10,000 in 2016, 10,000 in 2020, and it will be 10,000 in 2024. For the parliamentary, it was 50,000 in 2016.
That's the presidential.
The presidential, sorry. For 2020, it was 50,000. Then it was increased to 100,000 in 2020, and we say we are going to repeat that. The Commission doesn't want to use the deposit as a way of deterring people from coming to contest. But the caveat to it is that it's a deposit. Okay. If for parliamentary, you're able to garner 12.5%, which is 1/8 of the valid votes, the money will be refunded to you. Okay. For presidential, if you get 25%, which is 1/4 of the valid votes, the money will be refunded to you. That's why it is a deposit. But still, you need to pay before you contest. So we would want to maintain the figures that will not deter anybody. But if you look at the values in real value, monetary value terms in 2020 compared to this time, you realize that 10,000 in 2016 cannot be the same as 2020. It can also not be the same as 2024. So in real values, we have rather reduced the deposits.
What's the best offer you can give the smaller political parties? Because ordinarily, obviously, they don't have the same finances with the bigger political parties.
First, I don't think at the meeting none of them complained. And in our books, we don't have any smaller party or bigger party. All the parties are treated equally. So when we come to taking decisions with respect to money and the rest, we come out with political parties. We don't segregate them with respect to our so-called smaller parties and bigger parties. All parties are parties. We treat them equally.
Right. How ready are you resource-wise? Is everything set, your human resource base and the finances that you need to run these elections?
You know that when it comes to human resource, we always use the permanent staff and the temporary staff. Yeah. So we are in the process of recruiting the temporary staff as and when they are needed. So far, I think we are on time and we don't have any issue. If you look at the place before you entered, there are a lot of people there. They are working on the. About a month ago, we advertised for people to apply to become return officers and what have you. We had a lot of people who have applied, and we are doing the shortlisting. Very soon, we'll do the interview and we'll move on.
We know you've been able to solve the bottlenecks with the political parties. A reason perhaps this year's election appears to be calm and cordial, your relationship with them. Unlike the previous ones, we have been hearing banter between the political parties and the EC. What is the assurance that you're going to supervise a free, fair and transparent elections?
Electoral Commission has always been doing its work based on what the law says. So once we are on the side of the law, we'll go ahead and do it. Those things, probably at times, we need to be engaging the parties and the rest. But we have never gone outside the law. So we will go by the law, and we are expecting that the political parties and other stakeholders will also support us. You, the media, for instance, you are one of our key stakeholders. You are supposed to tell the people what, for example, the timetable we have given up. Without the media, the people will not know. When the political parties are doing their things, you are the one who should give them the publicity. When the candidates are going around, you are the one who will give them publicity. So we should also give coverage to anybody who wants to contest so that there will be fair coverage. And if you are also a security man, you should treat everybody the same. If you are the voter, go and register once and vote once. Observers look at what is happening and give fair assessment of it. So every stakeholder has a role to play. Electoral Commission alone cannot assure Ghanaians of credible elections if the other stakeholders decide to do what is not required of them.
Have you been able to reinforce your security system in terms of the data that you have so that you'll be able to avoid possible the election using the electronic system?
I don't know what you mean by rigging. Rigging is putting in place systematic mechanism to change the winner to a loser. And I don't think the way our system is, the transparency, the accountability in the system, integrity in the system, nobody can rig election in Ghana. If I always say that, bring any of the presidential candidates to be the chair of the commission, he can never alter the results. So for elections in Ghana, issue of rigging are completely out. Now, with respect to the data, we are not using electronic transmission. Our collation and everything is manual. So there's no issue of cyber threat. The only thing that when we are doing the manual, we can do the tabulation using the IT system. But it's never done to transmit it so that you can come and say that you have hacked the system. So the system is manual, so you cannot hack the system.
All right. We have a sad situation at hand. Member of Parliament for Ejisu and then the former Deputy Finance Minister has unfortunately passed on, John Kumah. May he so rest in peace, though. But what does that mean that a by-election is looming?
If you look at Article 112 as amended, when a vacancy occurs less than 3 months, we will not do by-election. But if it's more than 3 months, the Commission is enjoined to organize by-election. So once the Commission is officially informed, we'll kickstart the process to have the by-election. We have no choice. That is what the Constitution demands of us.
Whether you have resources or not, you will go ahead?
It is a constitutional mandate. So we don't provide resources for ourselves. But once we get the notice that the vacancy has occurred, and it is more than 3 months, the Commission has no choice but to kickstart the
by-election.
by-election.
Is this notice supposed to come from Parliament?
The law says that when the Parliament gets to know of it, the clerk of Parliament should inform us not less than 7 days.
Not less than 7
Yes, and when we also hear of that, once it is that not less than 60 days, we have to do it.
So officially, you have not been informed because
Not at all.
7 days have not passed. Is that the case?
I don't want to talk about it because I don't know when they'll be informed. But the law is that once you hear of it, clerk of Parliament should inform us not less more than 7 days after hearing of that. And when it gets to us, if it's ordinary vacancy, then we need to do that within 30 days. But if it's as a result of death, then we need to do within 60 days.
So you are on standby, waiting for the notification to go and conduct the elections?
Till we are informed, we don't know of any vacancy.
Right. The last bit I want to hear from you has to do with the fact that the NDC, in one of their rallies today, indicated that they want to deploy their own drones to monitor the elections in Greater Accra. What do you make of such assertion from the major opposition?
And that's the EC Director of Electoral Services, Dr. Sribo Kweku. In that interview, my colleague Samuel Mbura, you are